It would seem that I am either stalking gay pride festivals around the world or it's just one giant coincidence. Maybe both. Either way, I've found myself in Lisbon, in Portugal, and am attending my second Pride Festival of the year. The first being in Tokyo, a link to which can be found in the description. And let's just say that this one here in Lisbon, was as different to what you would expect as Tokyo was. And I will tell you why in the next few minutes. So I'm here in Lisbon and was handed this brochure, and what do you know? It's Gay Pride Day, and it was going to be held in the Commerce Square in the city center, right on the harbor, in the shadow of what is called the Rua Augusta Arch. Now, I've been to many different gay pride festivals in North America, Asia, and Northern Europe, but this was my first gay pride festival in Southern Europe, and to say that it differs from festivals in places like Vancouver, Sydney, and San Francisco as much as it does in Tokyo is actually an understatement. For all intents and purposes, the Pride Festival was not only better attended in Tokyo, but it was racier, if that's even possible. Again, if you're interested, see the link on the festival in Tokyo in the description for more information. So, in fact, with the exception of a few drag queens that were sprinkled in the crowd and those putting on performances and the odd same-sex couple holding hands, the event was thoroughly G-rated in Lisbon, with only a few girls wearing sexualized cosplay. Moreover, the event had more of a predominantly straight music festival meat market than that of any Pride event I've ever attended. Moreover, and I'm not shy to say, I was chatted up by and chatted with more than a few cute Portuguese as well as other assorted women of varying nationalities at the festival in the darkened crowd that was pulsating with light music as well as heightened hormones and pheromones. That said, what got me thinking, and this is just my own thoughts, is that the level of lascivious behavior at events such as these is directly related to the level of adherence to an Abrahamic faith and its traditions. In that, in cities like San Francisco, Vancouver, and Sydney, where Christianity is almost absent, the debauchery during festivals such as this is pretty much unlimited. Gimps, twinks, bears, and the public display of junk and orifices are all pretty much the order of the day. While on the other end of the moral compass, such displays and the lifestyle itself is socially forbidden in the Islamic world. East Asian countries with a Buddhist tradition lie somewhere in the middle, with most being pretty much ambivalent toward the entire question of sexuality and gender. The city of Lisbon seemed to me somewhere in the middle of these two extremes, and with grand churches on every other street, it also seemed to me that Catholicism, while weakening, still appears to have some influence on the people, their city, and more importantly, on their public behavior. While watching the event, I also realized that what is publicly acceptable, what is moral and what is immoral, what is understood as right and what is understood as wrong, can change rapidly, and it has. The moral compass in the West has changed radically since as recently as the 1990s, in that TV shows like Friends are now seen as oppressive, bigoted, and problematic. Moreover, since the 1990s, an entirely new vocabulary has sprung up to articulate this new moral reality we find ourselves in. Cis, trans, dead-naming, microaggressions, insert label phobia, privilege, things being problematic, ally, woke, etc. There has been such a massive transformation in what is supposedly the moral consensus in the Western world that vast swaths of the population actually have no idea what it is or even what it all means. And the thing is, despite what all of the woke activists that mime at being journalists and their legion-strong enablers, as well as those in the center and on the right and other spectrums of the political compass, do not seem to realize is that this new moral reality that we currently inhabit has taken hold at a breathtaking pace and is just as likely to be replaced in the very near future. The moral compass of the Western world has been totally replaced in as little as 50 years. The decimation of the family, of religion, and even of fertility are the fruits of our new secular hegemony. In countries like the UK, botching a procedure that ends in death is not as serious of an incident of professional malpractice as is having the wrong opinions in the current climate. But what is essential to understand is that this current moral climate is being championed, for the most part, by those that will not or do not have children, and when they do, there simply is not enough of them to replenish the ranks of the ideologically woke. Demographics is destiny. The West is currently and radically transforming itself, and it is those that will make the children for tomorrow that will dictate where the moral compass of society will point. Evidence of this can be seen already in places as far afield as Canada, where Chinese communities are fiercely against allowing migrants into their community, or in the UK, where Muslim parents are refusing to allow the state to teach their primary school-aged children about LGBT relationships. Now, this presentation isn't about what group is right or what group is wrong. It's more about understanding our unique place in history and how nobody is on the right side of history, as we are constantly told we need to be on, but that the future is fluid and history is only a window into the shadows of a bygone era. Our moral and cultural taboos and certainties are just as fleeting as those that lived 50, 100, or 500 years ago. The thing is, most people just don't realize it. Thanks very much for watching. If you like this kind of material, please consider subscribing. Also follow Black Pigeon on the usual social media. And again, my thanks to all of you for the support that this channel receives. It is very, very much appreciated. Till next time.